Introduction is.
Here she goes.
What a sweet
This
thing.
meeting is being recorded.
Oh, wait. I found it. Wait a minute. I gotta find my glasses. Hello. I just admired myself for a minute. I like my hat. All right. We are the Spiritual Neighborhood. The Spiritual Neighborhood is a grassroots community project of the Council of Families for Children, a 501c3 nonprofit. We believe that sick can be fixed, so we support services that improve the quality of life for the body, mind, and spirit for the integration of a healthy, happy human. And our returning guest, because we love her so much, I just want to pencil over her cheeks, all four of them individually, is Audra Watley. And I'm just going to let Audra tell us about her because she can do it better than anyone. And tell us what you're going to tell us about today.
No, I hadn't thought that far. No.
I love the way she prepares. We're so important. She prepares.
I know. I'm so prepared for this. Anyway, so yes, my name is Audra Watley, and I am a licensed acupuncturist and certified functional medicine practitioner practicing in Allen, Texas. And this is Miko in my lap. She's my sweet puppy girl. And she keeps me saying that she also blocks my face from the computer. And she gave me a sweet lick on that one. So I thought one of the things we might talk about today is blood sugar.
Oh, yes.
Oh, is this because it's Halloween and vampires are coming out?
Miko's like, okay. We are approaching those, though, where there's an abundance of chocolate and candy corn and all that other stuff out there. Not to mention that, I was reading a report recently, and they're talking about, and they've been saying this for a while now, but they're talking about how this generation of kids that's coming up right now won't live as long as our generations because of the prevalence of diabetes at a young age and obesity. And a lot of that is due to the fact that so many of our foods are absolutely loaded with
sugar. I get 100. I get 100.
Yeah, sugar. And things that you don't even think of, like mayonnaise and ketchup and barbecue sauce and those types of things that we're adding to, they're chicken nuggets that also have sugar in them. So lunch meats have sugar in them. And so we don't even look for those kind of hidden things because,
we were shopping this week and pizza sauce, marinara sauce.
Yes.
You have to make your own. You have to make your own. 3 tablespoons, I know something about this. 3 tablespoons of ketchup, because I don't like ketchup, have the same amount of sugar as 1 glazed donut.
You're kidding me.
No.
I'd rather have the donut.
Yeah, screw the ketchup.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah, so I mean, it's shocking. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I want to say 40 years ago, the average adult got about 40 grams. Was it 40 years ago?
Or it was like 100 years ago.
Okay, so we'll just say 100 years ago, the average adult got 40 grams of sugar a day.
Now, there's a real person over there to the side that she's not talking to a ghost.
I'm not talking to my magical. This is Alicia.
It's Miko. Miko actually talks.
Alicia is my office manager, and she's the one who keeps me on track and sane and makes sure I show up on places when I should be there. And
hey, thank you for doing that.
Because I'm usually running between rooms. She's actually the person you would have contact with.
I'm the resident cat herder and puppy walker.
I like that. I need one of you. Can we clone her?
Yes.
It'll cost you.
Okay, so Audra, I already have a question in all seriousness. So the thing about it is the reason why people eat this way is because of convenience. They're stressed out. A lot of people don't know how to cook because we're not teaching them the skills. They don't have homemaking in school like they used to. They don't have grandma to stand by her side to see how she whips those pancakes up. So, the solution would be to make your own ketchup, to make your own mayonnaise, things like that. But people don't have the time for that. How do we do this and still have a quality of ease? Because we're lazy as Americans. I'm just going to say it. We're lazy.
And, some of it is, I mean, there's a bucket load of recipes and things like that on Pinterest. The information is out there. But it's like when we start paying attention to those things and buying things with less sugar, or buying ketchup that has no high fructose corn syrup or no sugar in it, it's like you start seeing more of those products when more people are looking to purchase them. And they do exist.
So it's consumer pressure. We need to have consumer pressure.
Absolutely. And I mean, the less, it's kind of like if you stop buying foods that are bucket loads of sugar in them, or that just even have sugar where there's no reason to have sugar, then they won't put them on the market because they're not good sellers anymore. Right. So, it does come down to, at some point, we're going to have to stand up for ourselves and our children and future generations and be like, we're not buying that and we're not eating it anymore.
I can't eat canned goods anymore. Canned goods taste funny to me.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I grew up on canned green beans and canned vegetables. And it's like, if I go home and have them now, I mean, I can't taste anything but the can.
Yeah.
They're gross.
Yeah.
Not to mention
that tinny taste to it.
Yeah. Not to mention the amount of sodium. Because most of them, like salt used to be considered a flavoring, and somewhere along the lines, salt used to be considered a preservative, and somewhere along the line, it got turned into a flavoring. And so it's like they use salt as a preservative in those canned vegetables, but it's extremely high. Okay.
I have noticed that there are soups and vegetables now that say no salt.
Yeah. Oh, except V8. Don't get V8 with no salt. Ugh, it's gross. I have to put salt on the can when I get V8 if there's no salt in it.
Well, some of that stuff is just loaded. I mean, it's just like unreal how much salt.
So, if something says no corn syrup, but it still has sugar in it? I guess that's
Hello.
cane sugar. Is there a difference?
Yeah, the majority of the sugars today actually come from beet sugar. So it's a step better, in my opinion, but it's still sugar, right? Mm-hmm. So Alicia went and wrote down the numbers for me real quick. In the 1600s, the average person ate 1 pound of sugar a year.
A year?
Less than 1 pound of sugar a year.
That's because they didn't have sweet tea.
In 2020, the average person consumes over 100 pounds of sugar.
Oh my God.
Right? And so, I mean, it's like moderation. Moderation is what I keep saying. But I mean, when you consider, like, if you're trying to do the low carb thing, if you just watch sugars alone, it's actually relatively hard for a person to stay under 40 grams.
It's almost impossible.
Unless you're like really watching, like, okay, I'm only eating meat and vegetables and things that aren't packaged, preserved,
Well, and depending on your allergies and fat intake qualifications, you're eating raw meat and raw vegetables to keep it under the line,
So what about things like monk fruit?
I don't know a lot about monk fruit. I know they're using it as a substitute now and that it's considered to be better. So I see that in some of the, with some of the supplement companies that I work with, they're using monk fruit as a sweetener because it's a little bit more of a complex carbohydrate than the simple fructose, lactose, regular sucrose.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're using at home.
But I've heard that the body sees it as sugar. So in a lot of ways, in regards to diabetes and other things, it doesn't make a difference. It makes a difference in calorie intake, but not in the way the body processes it. So a lot of people will use it, heavily and still have diabetes and other health issues. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've read. So.
Yeah. So what you have to be careful of is like the alcohol sugars. So when you see,
they'll give you diarrhea.
Well, yes, they will definitely challenge your digestive system, but the body still sees it and creates insulin. The artificial sugars, the body sees as sugar and it creates insulin because it thinks, oh, this is sweet. But then what happens is that your insulin levels are up, your blood sugar drops. And so then you're in this place of like really low blood sugar. So then you eat something to bring it back up. And if it's, again, that low fat or the artificial sugars, then it drops back down low, and then it's peaking back up when you put something in your system. So you're getting this roller coaster ride that creates insulin resistance.
I have a personal story about that, but I won't tell it.
So when you say artificial sugars, are you talking about the phenyl ketonuria? I didn't even pronounce that right, but
No, I'm talking about like when you go sit down at the table and there's pink, yellow, and blue packages.
Oh, yes.
But then there's that thing that maltitol and xylitol or whatever. Those are alcohol sugars, and they will tear you up. I mean, tear you up.
We just jumped. Woo, sorry.
Bye, Miko.
Yeah, she's like, I'm good. I'm done. See ya.
Y'all are boring the hell out of me. Getting out of here.
Yes, they're very hard on they're hard on the intestines. They will send you to the bathroom for sure. So watching those health drinks that are loaded with really not the best vitamins and those xylitol and what are the other ones? Maltitol.
Yeah, that's the
anything
one. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and there's another one. Maltitol, xylitol.
And they use them in sugar-free mints a lot, so don't be sitting there popping those mints.
Yeah, well, a mint is meant to be like one, not like the entire bucket.
Well, excuse me, no one told me that. And I was having a stressful day teaching a class of wild people from Oklahoma, and I was really having trouble coping that day, okay?
so do you think it's better to have just a small amount of sugar if you feel you need it instead of some of that artificial stuff?
Absolutely, yeah.
So this Coke says phenylalanine.
No.
Yeah.
Is that on the list?
Phenylalanine is actually it's in the family of amino acids. But here's the deal: most people take phenylalanine, they break it down, it's no issue in their body. If you have the genetic marker where you don't process it, literally, if you're getting a high consumption of it, you will die in the first 5 years of your life.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they have to put that on there. It's like phenylketonuriacs cannot have it because of the amount of phenylalanine in it.
I have a rule. If I can't pronounce it, I don't eat it.
That's a pretty good rule, but
Yeah.
I can still say
Seriously.
arsenic, and that doesn't mean I want to eat it.
Right. Oh,
No. I can pronounce Kahlua. I can pronounce
Kahlua.
bourbon. Rum's easy.
Kahlua.
Bailey.
I can pronounce margarita.
Amaretto.
Okay.
Amaretta's a stretch. Okay. I can get there.
God help us.
God ain't got nothing to do with this shit. I'm just telling you.
Nothing.
Nothing. Somebody called in to ask a question, but I think they freaked out and they hung up.
Uh-oh.
But I
I
had their
didn't think
number.
it would actually go
Where were
through.
you?
Yeah.
Big word.
They thought I was bullshitting when I said it. But I have their
Yeah, they
name.
thought you were joking.
Their
And then
name
you wound
and
up
number.
answering and said, oh, no.
We should call it back.
What did you
We'll prank
What
them.
did you say when you answered? Were you mean?
Hello?
She said hello. She was answering on the air.
I was right there. I went, hello?
You know who you are. You should call her back. Going, why'd you hang up?
What are you wearing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
I would like to return to the sugar discussion.
Okay. All right, Warden.
Thank you. Yes.
So to answer your question from earlier, I don't know that we actually got there. Yes, I consider it better to have a little bit of raw cane sugar, preferably or organic if you can find it, or a good quality agave. A lot of the agave right now is so processed that it is a little bit iffy, in my opinion. Honey, particularly local honey, because you get some other benefits from that. For very small children, though, you have to watch out because they may have allergies to honey specifically. So that has to be just to be mindful of. And some of they've come out with some really good coconut sugar for baked goods and things like that. It's not my favorite taste, and it's not quite as sweet as you get from some of the other things. But those are all good options.
What about organic maple syrup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Maple syrup's a good one. You know, maple syrup comes from maple trees, and generally those aren't, they're not generally sprayed with pesticides. So I don't even know necessarily that the non-organic, if it's 100% maple syrup. Now, if you go to the store and look at the maple syrup aisle, most of it is corn sugar that's flavored with maple. You
got to read the label.
Yeah, read the label. Absolutely. You were asking about the monk fruit earlier. I've looked numerous times at different monk fruit products because it says monk fruit really big, but then when you turn it over, the first ingredient is xylitol.
Oh.
And for those of you that aren't used to looking at labels, where it says ingredients, the first thing is what's mostly in there, and the next thing is what's second to most in there, and the third thing is what's third to most in there. So if your first ingredient is xylitol, it means it's more xylitol than it is anything else. So just like I said, just something to be mindful of.
So think xylitol is triple X. Don't do it. Bad.
So from way back in my, my undergrad days, when I had a lab where we grew bacteria on different sugars, one of the reasons that those sugar alcohols get used is because they don't grow bacteria very well, or there's only certain bacteria that will grow on them. And so the body doesn't necessarily treat it like sugar. And that's why they use it, is because you can get the sweetness, but then it doesn't process in the same way. But it also is destructive to the gut bacteria, like we were talking about. So I guess for some people it might be an okay answer, but for the most part, it's hard on the digestive system, and it's just not the best way to go.
So let's talk about sugar and candida, because diabetes is not the only side effect to too much sugar.
Absolutely. Yeah. So sugar feeds candida. That's the simple answer. So what is candida? Candida is a particular form of yeast that does grow in all of our bodies. But people that eat and consume more sugar and those types of products have an overgrowth or tend to have more of a candida issue than the person that's eating less sugar. Your good, healthy gut bacteria will help to kill off if there becomes an overgrowth, if your gut bacteria are balanced. But if you're eating a ton of sugar and processed foods, they're not balanced. And so the candida is growing more in your gut than the healthy bacteria that we need to survive.
And so how do you know if you have candida? What are some of the symptoms?
There's so many symptoms that can be contributed to so many different things. Bloating, gastrointestinal issues as far as IBS, or lots of gas. Weight gain, yes, swelling throughout your body. Now, some practitioners will say if you go look in the mirror and stick out your tongue, if you have a white tongue coating, that's candida. From a traditional Chinese perspective, I don't necessarily agree with that. That just tells us you've got some dampness. And dampness in Chinese medicine could be imbalance of bacteria. It could be you're retaining water. It could be numerous other issues other than candida. But particularly with, babies that have thrush is, it's basically candida. So those types of people that constantly get or regularly get yeast infections. Absolutely a candida issue. That's a systemic issue. That's not just local. We'll say that.
Well, and since this is a program for the Council of Families, and Council of Families is focused on mental health, let me throw this out here. They have done numerous studies that the Council has studied up on where candida can cause not only brain fog, but emotional up and downs. They see a relationship with depression in candida, a relationship with bipolar disorder in candida. And if you're working with someone who's focused on mental health, that's holistic, that's one of the very, very first things they test for and then treat before they look at any other treatment plans when you're dealing with mental health issues. That really affects the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. I would say that gut health in general really affects the brain. So, the newer practitioners into functional medicine, they're going to start with the gut no matter what the problem is. I mean, whether it's mental health, weight, hormonal issues. I mean, pretty much everything, we start with the gut because everything surrounds it, right?
Yeah.
And Candida itself is a little bit more, I'm going to say it's a little bit more of an old school thing at this time, because there was a lot of more holistic practitioners that, like, back in the 1990s and 2000, it's like they just kept saying everything's Candida, everything's Candida, everything's Candida.
They did.
Well, now they're saying, well, everything is gut, and it's imbalance of the gut bacteria and the gut health, which basically is saying there a lot of times there is a Candida issue, but it doesn't necessarily have to be only Candida. It can be overgrowth of unhealthy bacteria.
That's why you can't drink beer.
As well as yeast.
You probably
I'm
have.
sorry, say that one more time.
I was going to say that's why Elizabeth can't drink beer. She probably has Candida.
I can't drink beer either, and it's because I'm allergic to wheat.
Oh,
I don't do well with wheat. I discovered that as well. I mean, I had to give up wheat bread.
but you're eating waffles. Isn't there wheat flour in those waffles?
I don't know. It doesn't seem to bother me, and as long as it doesn't bother me or my gut, that's what I eat.
Got it.
And, I go with what works.
So what about probiotics and gut health?
Probiotics and gut health. Probiotics are the way to reinitialize or to re-expose our body to those healthy bacteria. I'm not going to say that everyone should be on probiotics, because the people that have something called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, giving them probiotics will make them feel absolutely worse, or giving them the wrong probiotics. And working with a practitioner to find out which strains or which type of probiotics is really the best way to go. Now, a lot of people have the impression that they can get their probiotics from yogurt. And the reality is that by the time whatever amount of bacteria is in that yogurt actually gets to your intestines, it's dead. Okay, it died in your stomach.
You mean Jamie Lee Curtis lied to us? She lied?
She probably told you the truth with whatever knowledge she had.
Very diplomatic.
But, and the other thing is that most of the yogurts out there, it's a very low count of live bacteria, and it's loaded with sugar. Here we go.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, Greek yogurt's caca, so people shouldn't even eat that stuff. That is just caca.
Oh, see, I if I'm going to eat yogurt, I like the Greek yogurt.
Oh my God.
I do too.
It makes my face pucker.
I get the Greek yogurt with honey. Yeah.
See, I get the plain yogurt, just the plain full fat regular yogurt. I use it as sour cream. I use it in dips and sauces. Occasionally, I don't eat a bucket load of dairy just because I don't do that well with dairy. But when I do those sort of things, it works better for me than sour cream and those other things that I'm using as a substitute for. If I want a sweeter yogurt, then I'll add the honey or the fruit or whatever it is that gives it more flavor. But it makes it more versatile to have plain yogurt that you can do whatever you want with it.
I'll make dip out of it. Put some little onion soup mix in there. Make me some dip.
Yep.
Yum, yum, yum.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, this is what fascinates me, that they have now focused on gut health so much that they have come up with a transplant of poop, where they that blows my mind. Have y'all heard this?
I hadn't heard that.
Oh my God, tell me.
So here's what that's based on, is that people that their microbial balance is so far off, or that they've had so many antibiotics that they just can't get it anywhere close to normal. They're finding healthy individuals that have good quality balance in their bowels, and they'll do a fecal transplant between one or the other, and the research has actually been really fantastic. Now, do I do that? No. Do I want to do that? No. No. But at the same time, it's like the research behind it is actually really valid.
Can you say fecal? Can you say fecal?
Fecal.
I knew you could. That that just blows me away. I mean, it's fascinating, but it's gross at the same time. It really is.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, I'm not even going to go there because I could go to so many places with that
Yeah,
thought process. I have restraint. I have restraint.
Just because the research is valid doesn't mean that I want to partake.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So, okay, now I just totally lost my train of thought.
Is erythritol
Sugar, we've talked about poop. What else? Bring it on.
is erythritol one of those alcohol sugars?
It is an alcohol sugar.
If it has TOL after it, isn't it always alcohol sugar? If it is,
Yeah, the OL, not necessarily TOL, but the OL on the end.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the sugars, most of them are TOL. It's ITOL on most of those.
that is fascinating, though, how much we do rely on our gut and the strength. Okay, I know what it was. So do you think that first of all, we are over antibiotic in this country? And do you think that could have contributed to how bad the virus outbreak is, even though it's not bacterial, that we've ruined our immune systems naturally because of all the, I mean, they give antibiotics. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Well, here's a Z-Pack, you know?
Yeah. So the answer to the first question, which was, do I think that antibiotics are overused? The answer to that is absolutely yes. I don't know how many times somebody goes into a clinic, they have a common cold, which is viral, and they're said, here's your Z-Pack, go home. Or they have a yeast infection and they're given a Z-Pack.
Oh no.
That doesn't even help.
Right? You know, it doesn't even make sense. Yes, antibiotics really the last 50 years have just become way overused. I know that a lot of the doctors are aware of it now and they've cut back on when they do it. Particularly your pediatricians and your family practitioners. A lot of them are cutting back on how much they use antibiotics, which is great. But historically, they've absolutely been way overused and abused, which has created a lot of the issues that we have. And then the second question had to do with, is that part of what's made this viral outbreak so bad? And the answer to that is not necessarily. I think that whatever you think of this virus itself, it is cold virus family. It's just a little bit more potent strain. And whether that was created in a lab or it came from some sort of animal, I have my opinions, but they don't necessarily need to be said here.
Oh, tell us.
However it is just definitely a more potent strain of a cold virus, and it mutates. And the biggest problem with us as really as a planet, mostly our culture here in the United States, is that it goes back to the same stuff that we've talked about. We consume entirely too much sugar. If you have as little as a teaspoon of sugar, it cuts down your immune system's ability to process and to work normally for 4 hours. So you've cut your immune system in half for 4 hours because you drink soda.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Right. And so we overconsume sugar, and we overuse antibacterial, antimicrobial, which all of that stuff kills off good bacteria and leaves us with an immune system that doesn't have to work as hard. And so we've just created this kind of like perfect storm of, we're not challenging our bodies to break things down and get rid of them because we wash everything with antimicrobial whatever, soaps and laundry detergents and everything else, hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And then we turn around and eat sugar.
Yeah.
No.
We should play in the mud, quit eating sugar. But you know what? I got a great idea. We should have like these space suits that we can wear. So if you're going to drink a Coke, you go put that on, you wear it for 4 hours. That way you don't get exposed to anything while you're weak. You know?
Oh my God. Honey, where are you going in that spacesuit? Gonna have a Coke. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, after I retired, I quit drinking sodas, period.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll have one. I had one yesterday, but not on a regular basis.
But that's just Coke. That is not Dr. Pepper, right? That doesn't count.
That's all
It's a doctor.
carbonated.
It's a doctor.
All carbonated beverages. All carbonated beverages.
Damn.
See, I'm not going to say all carbonated beverages, but I can count on my hands the number of times I've had a soda. in the last 5 years.
Okay, now
Well,
she's
I'm not
just
that
showing
good.
out.
Mine's only 2, so.
But I was going to say, here's the deal. Like, I was so addicted to Dr. Peppers. Like, every time I'd be upset like literally I was having not just like a can of Dr. Pepper, but like a 32 ounce, QT, whatever, a day. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'd refill it. I mean, it's like I had a serious addiction to Dr. Pepper. And, what really helped me to get off of those, there's a brand of kombucha called Live or Live. I'm not sure which one. It's Live. It's out of Austin. And the people that founded it were trying to get their family off sodas because they were addicted to them. And so they created this kombucha tea in soda flavors. So it's similar.
Wow.
So it's similar, and it gives you, I'm going to say that has a little boost of some probiotics in it, but I don't drink it for that. I use it for those days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a Dr. Pepper. And so they have one called Dr. that it's not exactly the same, but it gives me enough of that taste and the bite and the fizzy and everything else that.
And what's the brand called? Live?
Yeah, Live. Mm-hmm.
L what? I'm sorry.
Live.
Oh, just like Live. Okay.
Yeah,
Have you ever grown your own kombucha though? That's nasty looking.
I have not. I know some people that do, but as far as like wanting a particular flavor, I don't like the ones that are real vinegary.
It looks like an alien in a bottle.
Well, it's probiotics. So
It's alive. It literally is alive. It moves around. It looks at you. And it will follow you with its eyes as you walk across the road.
When you grow it though, it grows a mushroom on top.
Yeah. You're just waiting for that thing to crawl out of there and crawl into your mouth and bust through your stomach later on. Yeah.
Seymour, feed me.
Yeah.
That was a part of our microbiology classes, to grow kombucha and do evaluations for acidity and sugar content, and because it was part of the fermentation process.
Yeah,
you're just lucky to be alive. That's all I can say. we had 2 big old jars, like they used to put moonshine in, because we were trying to get our kids healthy, because they had candida issues and all that stuff, because they had some mental health things going on, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing worth doing this. This is crazier than the crazy, and it tasted like crap,
So how is the vinegar taste of this Live? Is it low?
It's very low.
Good.
Yeah, it's very low on the vinegary taste, at least to me. And like I said, I've had several of their different flavors. I'm not a huge cola person, but I understand the cola and the cherry cola is very good. My favorite is either the cream soda or the Dr.
Dr. Pepper. All right.
It's not Dr. Pepper. It's just Doctor.
I can't drink a lot of bubbly stuff, but every once in a while I want it, and I need something that I can justify being in pain for. So if I'm getting the probiotics with it, at least I can say, well, it was worth it.
and who knows, you may not have the issues with the bubbles when it's not the sugar as well.
Yeah.
Well,
because they're relatively low sugar.
Bourbon helps everything go down easier. So you put a little bourbon in it, it goes down better. It kills those bubbles. It flattens those bubbles out. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that too. Okay. Gosh, she's so technical. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So you want to tell me about your special drink that you make for me? No.
I don't think she's going to claim that one.
I was going to say, I didn't have anything to do with that one. No.
Absolutely.
First of all, it's whey protein, so I definitely didn't do that.
Right.
Well, I can't do pea protein for some reason. My body rejects it. And I guess there's other proteins out there, but I just gave up because whey protein doesn't bother me. So
I was going to say, and you have to find, in the end, it comes down to you have to find what works for you.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, it's like I can be people's guide for that, but I can't tell them all the right answers.
Well, the bottom line is if you do anything every day for years, it just gets tiresome. I don't care how good it is
Absolutely.
and how good it is for you. So this is my way of kind of spicing it up a little bit and, making it easier to go down, because that's 35 grams of protein right there with ice, with just a hint of Kahlua to give it, God help me. If I ever get to a place where that much Kahlua will make me high, I'm going to kill myself, because that means I have just expended every brain cell I have.
I was gonna say, if it sets your face on fire like mine, then you might change your mind. But
No, it does not. Oh, sangria does though. Oh my God, sangria will kill me. There's something about sangria. Oh my God, it is bad juju. Bad
I was
juju.
gonna say, tops of my ears get hot, my face turns redder.
No, oh my God.
It's not pretty.
No, it's not. Oh my God.
Some of us understand that.
Yes, we do. We do. We totally understand that.
Well, it's like I can't drink beer. It's too bubbly. I miss beer though. I do. I like a good cold beer on a hot day. Yeah. Look at Elizabeth. I looked at. Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I remember when the first one was, had that kick. It was like, ooh, this is the nastiest stuff I've ever had. Let me have another one. Yeah, I remember those. I remember that good time.
I don't like gin. I don't like wine, but everything else I can find a reason to drink.
I got sick off of wine. Well, let's say, I got sick off of wine, and that just pretty much that ended my career with that.
You know what?
I can drink this much wine and kind of toddle out,
Well, when the glass is this wide, that much wine is a lot, Luann.
No, I'm talking about a regular wine glass, not a.
Yeah.
But I do love a nice mojito.
Oh, me too. Mojito. I like saying that. Mojito.
Yeah.
Margarita.
Margarita mojito.
Tequila does not like me.
Tequila makes me take my clothes off.
Oh, dear. Oh, no, please.
You're gonna sing that for us.
No, actually, vodka does.
Well, I'm going to write those down, and if I ever go anywhere with her, she's absolutely not allowed to
Banned.
have them.
No.
I do not want naked person dancing on the table. Oh, no.
Well, next Tipsy Tuesday I'll tell you my vodka story. It's pretty cute.
Oh, God.
It's pretty cute.
Okay.
You know why I love Audra? I love Audra. I like you a little bit, but I love Audra. I love Audra because she laughs all the time, but she laughs at my jokes. That's what I really love. You should laugh more at my jokes, Elizabeth.
Well, when you say something funny, I will.
I'll give her a score for that. Okay,
I knew that was coming.
1 to how many? A billion?
She's keeping a tally over there, a tally.
Oh my God. How many times have I raised that flag? No more.
Oh, Audra.
All right. Well, since you brought it back to here, I'm going to give you a hard time. So we started out talking about sugars and we end up on alcohols. And I'll tell you that alcohol.
No, wait a minute. You missed it.
Racing said sugar.
Sugar, alcohol. It's a natural progression. I don't know why you don't understand that, sweetheart.
I would say your body treats it the same way.
Yeah,
Racing said sugar.
she understands fermentation.
Yeah.
Plays it. It's fermentation.
I'm not aging, I'm fermenting.
Like, good Lord, we need to work on those gut bacteria.
Oh my God. Well, according to my husband, I don't need to work on mine at all. They're working
I'm
just
sorry,
fine.
Audra.
Bless his heart.
That's what I said. I don't have all of my intestine. So you know what that does to your body when you don't have all of your intestine. It changes up the whole dynamics of your daily life. Oh,
It does.
It does. But I've managed it really well. So,
Wow. Yes.
okay, we're all speechless.
Blood sugar. Can you have low blood sugar? And if you do,
You should drink.
If you have low blood sugar, do not drink. Ever, it's not better. Ever. So yes, yes, you absolutely can have low blood sugar. So anybody who's had the experience of being irritable and angry because they're hungry, they have low blood sugar.
oh,
So
well,
that hangry thing,
Yeah.
most likely low blood sugar.
oh,
So can fruit help that? Is that a more natural way to?
Reese's is better.
Yes. So, all right. So,
It's peanut butter.
yeah, fruit can help that. A lot of times, times people can balance their blood sugar that goes high and low like that by just drinking more water.
Oh.
Right. I know that sounds weird, but if somebody's really in a sugar low, like if you have a diabetic that's really in a sugar low, they need sugar quick. So you're more easily broken down your simple sugars, which are going to be your sucrose and your fructose. So fruit juices at that point, that's really the only time that I would recommend somebody having a little bit of fruit juice, because it's just straight sugar.
So what creates a low blood sugar? Why would someone have low blood sugar?
Low blood sugar. So when somebody is insulin resistant, their body, if their body is producing insulin, which it usually does, that's what usually breaks down sugar. But if they're resistant to it, like they're not using it properly, their body keeps releasing it. Right. And then for whatever reason, it's like the body clues into, oh, hey, that's insulin. We're going to use it. And it takes their blood sugar levels lower than, right. So you get this kind of like your insulin builds up and then your blood sugar is already normalized but your body's still producing insulin. And then it takes the blood sugar down lower as it uses up the insulin.
Oh, so it's kind of like plopping the clutch on the car.
It's a lot like popping the clutch on the car.
I don't know where that came from. That's just what came to mind.
I was going to say, it creates that kind of like explosion of, when it starts to actually acknowledge, hey, there's insulin here. We can use that to lower blood sugar, but then it lowers it too low because it was ignoring it to start with.
well, I don't have that issue a lot because I try and do like mini meals throughout the day and not a large one.
Right.
So I want to make sure that it knows that it's not starving. I want to make sure the body is aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
But the last couple of days have been really, really busy, and my routine has not been the same as normal. And I've noticed the last couple of days, boy, when I am hungry, I'm almost just aggravated.
Yeah.
Just like aggravated. And it's like, I've got to have food and I've got to have it now. And I haven't experienced that in several years. I mean, and it was like, what is going on here? But now I remember it's low blood sugar.
Well, based upon my personal experience with Elizabeth, she has low blood sugar all the time.
Oh.
Probably so. You stuck it out of me.
That being said, your diabetics, like my diabetic patients and family members that I've had were diabetic, if their blood sugar is really high, they're grumpy. If their blood sugar is really low, they're grumpy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of the things where eating smaller portions on a regular basis throughout the day and drinking plenty of water helps to balance blood sugar.
It really makes a difference for me if I eat just little meals through the day. It just makes your body feel so much better. Or it does mine. Let's just put it that way.
Somebody's ringing. Wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
No.
Apparently, I have my laptop in the office today because our front desk computer crashed yesterday, and apparently the phones, when they ring up front, connect into my computer.
Oh, how cool is that?
I know. It would have let me answer it on the screen. Apparently, I don't know.
Well, they're either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, Elizabeth,
I like
are you
that.
diabetic, Elizabeth? Do you have diabetes?
No.
But you have blood sugar?
I've been tested for it, and I'm not.
But you have blood sugar things going on.
Well, sometimes I do, yeah. It's like I said, I haven't had that problem in a long time, but I just get like really, really bitchy. I mean, it's really bad. It's like, don't talk to me until I've had something to eat.
Yeah. So it's very common for people to get hypoglycemia, which basically means low blood sugar. It happens, and some of it has to do with regularity of meals, what your body's used to, how your body processes insulin, all of that sort of stuff. But it's one of those key indicators where if somebody very commonly and easily has hypoglycemia, they're more likely to develop diabetes as they age than somebody who doesn't have any of those kind of issues. Wow. So it's just one of those things. I've had some hypoglycemia ever since I was a teenager. And so it's one of those things that I've always been very aware of. And one of the reasons that I was like really driven to get off of sodas and things like that, because I don't want to take the risk that at 60 something, I'm diabetic, because I've watched that with too many family members.
Right.
And a good indication of your sugar levels is an A1C with a blood test.
So your sugar levels you can test throughout the day by looking at glucose. Mm-hmm. A glucose monitor, that's what you see. Most of the time it's just a finger prick sort of thing. A1C is the measure of average glucose over the last 3 months.
Oh, okay. So you can have a bad day and it's not indicative of a situation. You've got to monitor it on a regular basis.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's where you start, maybe, is knowing where your A1C is. And
yeah, I would say, it's a great place to start. Like if somebody just wants to know what their numbers are looking like, A1C is a great marker for somebody to be like, okay, well, over the last 3 months, it's sitting at, whatever that number is, which some of the labs or your doctor, some of them will have a chart that kind of gives you, or you can even look it up online, that say your A1C is 5.6. Then there's a chart that says, well, that converts to an average glucose of about 110 or 105 or 104, whatever it is.
Right.
And so that's a good marker just to kind of get an idea. Now, obviously, blood sugar does like this throughout the day as you eat, right? The problem is when it does like this versus like this.
Right.
so is there an average? Is there an average blood sugar that? I mean, if you're testing your blood sugar through a finger stick,
yeah. So a fasting blood sugar first thing in the morning, we like to see it below 100 for sure. Now, if it's below 70, then you're probably a little hypoglycemic, but that kind of like 85 to 95 range is considered a really good morning blood sugar. Now, they've been playing with those ranges over the last few years, and they like them a little bit lower, closer to 90, just because as you get over 100, if you're consistently over 100 for a fasting blood sugar, that's an indication of insulin resistance.
If you're over 100.
If you're over 100 on a fasting blood sugar.
That's interesting. All right, two things. One, when you come back, I would love for you to talk about hormones.
Okay.
From an all-age perspective, and not just estrogen, but testosterone, cortisol, thyroid, how they all interact, and things to.
Well, that's a 2-hour lecture.
We may do it in two sections.
Highlights.
Well, we'll do 2 sections, maybe. Pick 2, and then we'll do the other 2 later, or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
those are excellent topics.
Yeah,
excellent topics.
Well, and the reason I say it is that, frankly, that was my biggest health issue, and they still don't have an answer to it. I had too much hormones, all of them. And it caused me to gain a lot of weight. They couldn't get it under control. I had to have surgery. And when I had surgery, everything leveled out in less than a week. And they don't know why, but it did. And I was perfectly healthy, except I couldn't stop gaining weight.
Okay.
So, and I know I'm not the norm. I know I'm not average, but there are a lot of people out there with hormonal issues.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Oh, yeah. Bezen, BEZEN, HWC, which stands for holisticwellnesscenter.com. That's bezenhwc.com. And the phone number is 214-551-4734.
And if you forget to look at this, you can always go to the Spiritual Neighborhood page and look at the bio under notes, or you can go to our YouTube page, which is Spiritual Neighborhood Network, and there's a cute little ad there with all of Audra's information and what she does and her contact information. So don't tell me you can't find her. You can, damn it.
She's out there. We know it.
And you're taking new patients now, right?
I am.
Oh, wow. Oh, awesome.
And old patients. And old patients.
And old,
Well, of course.
new, old, young, in the middle.
Aggravating patients.
Oh, right. That's
Skinny
exciting.
kids,
One of
kids who
my-
climb on rocks. Tough kids, sick kids, evil kids with chicken pox.
One of my mentors used to have a sign. He had a sign on his door that said, "I love all of my patients, some when they come and some when they leave."
I love that.
That's a good one.
I love it.
I wonder which one I would be. I might get it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, we do.
I think it depends on what door that's on.
I got a whole flock of these for you today, Elizabeth.
Oh,
The abuse I put up with. The abuse. And I'm so cheerful about it. God.
you're on alcohol. You'd be cheerful over anything.
Oh my! I'm gonna quit telling y'all that I have Kahlua in my drink. Good Lord! If y'all think that's alcohol, you have no idea what drinking is about. Seriously,
We don't.
you don't. You don't. I'm gonna tell you right now. We're going out drinking one night, and
you ratted us out.
we are
Yeah,
going out one night. I'm gonna show you people what drinking looks like.
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes. Now you.
no, I did that when I was in between, 18 and 25. I know what it looks like.
Yeah. It cannot be pretty.
No,
Katie.
no.
I was gonna say, I'm a lightweight because I just don't do much of it.
Yeah, me either. I don't feel good.
I am Scotch Irish. I know how to drink.
That would be a yes in the check column. Yes.
Yes.
Check that off.
Yes, please. Drink. Yes, please.
Yes.
Do you drink? Yes.
Do you
have one?
daily? You have a daily?
I don't
Yes,
trust
daily.
anybody that doesn't.
Okay.
I drink water. I drink kombucha.
I drink coffee. I drink coffee.
That sounds so
Absolutely.
tribal. Kombucha.
Okay, so some of those kombuchas, because they are fermented. The first time that I had one of those, it had a little bit of alcohol content. I got a buzz off of the kombucha, y'all. So
A lot of people say that though.
I have ones that don't have.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the homemade kombucha can have a really high alcohol content depending on how they ferment it and stuff. And you can get drunk on it.
I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I was like, no, that's not good for me.
Not when you're working.
No.
Yeah, let me tell you what's wrong with you. I'm the doctor here.
Seriously. Just stop eating, okay? Just don't eat.
It's your nutrition.
Well,
Let me tell you about you what you don't know.
I could tell you things. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
The bedside manner goes whoop.
Yeah.
or the bedside manner gets really bed-like.
Oh, no. You knew it was coming. You never go there.
No,
You never do that.
Oh, let me make you feel better. Come here.
No.
That's not good patient
That's
relations.
just,
No.
but,
No.
Oh, y'all are too serious for me. Just way too serious for me. Lighten up, you lightweights. Audra, we will see you again. When are you coming back? Do you know, or do we have to ask your help?
The first Thursday?
Is that next Thursday?
I think
If
it
is,
is.
I'm on vacation next Thursday.
You're what?
I'm on vacation next Thursday.
You're on vacation?
I'll be on a mountain somewhere.
No, next Monday's April.
We have 5 Thursdays in October. Is that right?
Yeah. The first Thursday of October is next week.
Yeah, it's next week, the 1st. Are you telling us
All right.
you're not going to be here?
I think I'm going to say I'm going to be on a mountaintop somewhere.
Well, can you
So-
send your assistant? Can you send your assistant?
She's going to be with me.
Oh, I'm
I'm
going
going
to work for you.
spelunking.
We're going to have a girls' week. A girls' weekend.
Yay!
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you have fun.
Everybody
Bring me a
needs that every now
rock.
and then.
Bring me a rock.
Just be
You're right.
safe and be
Okay.
careful, but have a great time.
I will.
Yeah.
They're super
Yeah.
good. So,
I got a boo-boo in my hand. Kiss it before you leave and make it better.
mwah.
That's a friend. That is a
Yeah.
true friend.
I banged it on the coffee table a week ago, and it is black and blue still. I mean, I hit it hard.
You need some vitamin C.
I do have vitamin C. I take it twice a day.
And some arnica.
I did.
Arnica.
I used arnica tincture on my skin. Otherwise,
Yes.
it probably would have fallen off by now.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, it was a bad hit. I was holding about 50 pounds in my hand and went boom. So I had
Ow.
the double whammy of the hit. So,
Oh dear.
all
Oh
right,
my gosh.
we're gonna sign
I'm glad
off.
you're getting well off, but I got to run.
All right,
See you soon.
bye.
Okay, bye. Have a great time. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
Elizabeth likes
Like
you
you
a
a
lot, but I love
Like you a lot.
Bye. Have fun next week.
Thank you.
All right. All right. I just adore her.
She is so sweet.
She is.
And full of information, let me tell you.
She is so smart. So
Yes,
so
she is.
smart.
Yes.
All right.
We're going to try to put together a radio something. We may actually just go straight to my website and post it there.
Awesome. I think it's a great idea.
I don't know why I haven't done it yet.
Because we've been busy and she's been busy taking new patients and we just haven't had a chance to have a conversation.
Well, do a video with it. Just use the Zoom room. I'll give you the login and stuff and video.
Well, I have a Zoom room.
All right, well then do that and then send me the video so we can put it on YouTube too, because you want to reach, you're helping people and you want to reach as many people as possible.
And we're not going to be taking callers, but we will be taking questions if they want to. I'll have a special email for them to use.
Do you have a name for the show yet?
Well, initially we're just going to call it Herb Talk, but
Herb Talk.
we have not discussed that actually.
You should have all the herbs call in to talk to you. If your name is Herb, call us.
Basil calling in for
Serious.
Basil.
Seriously, God, what?
Hi, this is Dill. How are you doing? I went to school with a guy named Dill.
Basil and Dill here. Mugwort.
Rosemary. Rosemary. A lot of girls named Rosemary.
Rosemary.
I know a girl named Lavender. So, all those hippy dippy people, they name their kids shit like that.
Sage.
Sage.
I am a sage.
Yeah.
I'm calling in.
Yeah.
Calling Sage.
Oleander. That's not a.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Rose petals are used for certain things. I could call it, hi, this is Rose.
Right. That's right.
And then there's
Okay, so I'm going to suggest we call it something different.
Okay.
Now that you've ranted and raved about it, but
she's got a stick up her butt today. What the hell?
I do not.
Turn around, let me see. Turn around, bend over. Let me
Oh,
No. Okay.
No.
Waiting. What was your suggestion?
see. Yeah, what?
what did you suggest that we call it?
Herb Talk.
Human system analysis. How's that?
Plants are
No.
us. Call it.
No, that's too
Plants are us.
complicated. That's too complicated. You really
I
want
know-
to make it simple.
Yes, and I said that for a reason because I knew that you two would go.
I just ignored it. No, I just ignored it. See, I don't get caught up like Elizabeth. I just ignore it. The hell with that. I'm not even going to recognize it. It's not on my register.
Well, obviously you're talking herbs and the benefits and the those kinds of things. So something with herb in it will really help. Why don't you just throw it out there? Everybody throw in what they think herbal
Yeah.
should be called.
I think you
Yeah,
should
if
call
you're
it
doing a
vegan vigilante.
seriously,
No.
seriously, really,
Why not?
no, no.
No.
Oh my God, the questions and phone calls you'd get on that one would be like a little scary.
I know, it'd be
more than
fun.
just a little.
Be fun.
There would be anarchy on Zoom.
Zoom anarchy. Well, Herbaloo is just always going to be working for me because that's who it is. But because you're going to be sharing the info with Audra, you want to make it non-generic. You just want it to be, about her.
Exactly. I will post it on.
Seriously, it's just that simple. Herb talk.
Or you could call it
Herbs.
Ganja and more. I love that word, ganja.
She was going there, but
Okay.
Ganja gomads. Ooh.
Your show. That would be your show. Show. That would be your show for sure. Starring
Ganja dabs and more.
And so you.
Oh, blunt talk.
No, you went there. Okay, she did. She went there. Everything you're throwing out there, somebody's going to go, damn, that was great. I'm going to write that down. Stop feeding these people.
My daughter will. My daughter and my son-in-law, they're like experts on pot. They're like total experts, because it's legal in Washington and, and it's medicinal and blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you what, you talk about eyes glazing over, they start talking about the varieties and what they're used for. And I'm like,
yeah, that's a little overwhelming.
I get high and zoned out just from them talking about it. I don't need to smoke. That's cool, man.
Oh, Herb Zone.
What?
Herb Zone? Herb Zone. No, that's kind of complicated.
That sucks. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it's too hard to pronounce. If it's too hard to pronounce, they're going to go, nah, we're not going to do that.
Herb Highway.
No.
Life is a highway. I'm going to herb it all night long.
Oh my God. No, please.
This is actually how a think tank works. This is actually what a think tank looks like.
This is just ridiculously
fun.
Horrible.
Fun. I think it's fun.
My suggestion is to talk to Audra,
Yes.
Get her.
Yes.
thoughts.
She will have good input.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear that? That was a backhanded insult if I've ever heard one. Audra will have good input. Not like you bitches.
Well, I just go, okay. Okay. Audra, I like her thoughts and ideas. I mean, she's really good with stuff like that. I love Be Zen. What a great name. I love that. So it could be a combination of herbs and Zen. I mean,
I got it. Herb high. It could be like an herb high school, or it could be like herbs get you high because you feel good.
No.
You just, I know where you're going with this. You're just, yeah.
She's not working with me at all here.
Not today.
No. But yeah, she calls me.
She'll talk to you on other stuff, but when it comes to her stuff, it's
No.
I'm not doing that. I'm the same way. I'm not doing. Who do you think you are?
I know you are the most obnoxious person to talk to when it comes to business. Oh my God.
I know.
Excuse me. Let me look at my notebook and see if that page fit. Nope, that doesn't fit in there. Reject. I
don't believe I don't see it.
No. Man.
It's not in my notes.
No, it's not in your box.
It's not on the Pentagon calendar. It doesn't exist.
No. Well, I don't give a damn what you call it. It doesn't matter.
You're the one that started that. I didn't start the Pentagon calendar. You did.
No, I'm talking about
what is that? The Pentagon calendar?
No, I'm not talking about the calendar. I love that. I'm talking about what she calls her herb show. And are you going to do the English version, herb, or are you going to do the American version, herb?
There's just too many things happening today. That just makes my brain hurt because that's just.
Well, we're just put the spelling out there, and then they can call it how they see it.
Then you should call it herbs around the world.
Hey, that might not be bad.
Herbs around the world.
Yeah.
Because, Andra, her training is in traditional Chinese medicine.
Exactly.
Ah,
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's kind of a combination of East-West herbs.
Yep.
East-West herb.
Yeah.
Mm.
Herbs around the world.
Herbs around the world.
And different countries do different things with different herbs, and there's different restrictions legally and all kinds of things.
Different varieties. That is literally making it global.
Yes.
See, when y'all don't make fun of me, I am brilliant.
Well, yeah. I'll lean more towards the yes me.
But see, I have to go through my process. I have to go through my think process of being silly, just running shit through my head, having fun. Because if it's not fun for me, I'm not going to do it. Just not. Screw it.
Okay, well.
Well, it is important to have fun in life.
Well,
It is important.
I deserve to have
And to
more
laugh
fun.
and to have humor.
I deserve to have more fun, and that's what I'm doing now that I'm older.
Isaac Bradfield, look what you've done.
I think I'm going to call him and see if he won't do my chart. I'm really thinking about that. It kind of goes.
The progressive chart.
Well, I don't know. I was going to ask him what he thought because, and I want to be honest. Okay, so because I'm very transparent here when you allow me to be, it's kind of hard for me to do this because it kind of goes against the grain of how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but I'm trying to live what I believe is truth. And truth is that information comes to us from all directions if we allow it. And nothing evil will touch you or nothing that is outside of your faith system will touch you as long as you set that intent. So that's what I'm looking at. You know, does that sound silly? You know?
Now, the more positive you are, the more intentions you set to be positive.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to tell you, Elizabeth. Oh, this is weird. You know that class that you on the demonology class that you sent to me?
Yes.
I emailed him last night. And I asked him if he had any team members here in Texas. And he said he did not, but he knew some people here and he was going to see if they were still operating and put me in touch with them to see if I could work on their team.
No way!
Yes.
That is awesome!
Yes.
Good job! That is awesome!
And I mean, it went boom, 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 boom. We were doing it on Messenger last night on Facebook, and it went that quick. Now, I don't know if they have anybody here, but I took that as a confirmation that this is a direction I need to look at.
I agree. I do.
Well, especially if you're going to be doing the
Ghost hunting houses
yes.
and in places and events. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I think that's awesome.
I'm getting
Wow.
So here's my theory.
Hat hair.
Your
Yeah.
hair looks really nice, by the way. I like that.
Oh, mine does or Luann's?
No, yours.
Oh, thank
Yours.
you. Thank you. I've watched
Yours.
it.
You-
I watched it. Washing is a wonderful thing.
I'm not even taking my hat off. My hair looks so bad.
Well,
This
mine was
is
giving me a headache
hat
today.
hair. Oh my God, hat hair.
Oh, I think it looks
my God.
cute. You look like a cowgirl. That looks really cute. I love that. It's that fresh F look.
I look like the
You look like
Prime
Andy
Minister
Warhol
of
now.
Britain.
Now you look
What
like
is that guy's name? The Prime Minister of Britain? Isn't that what his hair looks like?
No, you look like Andy Warhol now. Comb it down a little.
Okay, Andy. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would,
that's it.
that
Andy
would be
Warhol.
Andy. Okay, Andy Warhol.
Oh my God, you do. Gee,
I do.
You look
I
like
know.
you look. Don't do that.
Okay.
So my theory is that if you're going to be involved in offering up blessings and dealing with energies, you have to be prepared for a full circumference.
Always be prepared. Seriously. You don't want to get into situations where there could be well, you just don't want to get into those kinds of situations. Well, I just think that's outstanding. I wasn't sure whether or not there were people here in Texas that had, those qualifications, but if you've hooked up with him, this guy knows. I mean, he's been with the best. He knows the best.
Well, you're right. His whole team is in New Jersey. They're all in New Jersey.
Everybody's there.
So you were
in
right.
that location.
So, I did order his book. He has a book that he on Amazon. Have you looked at that? I did order that, and it came. And it's a book of offerings and prayers of protection.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
And there's a section on it that's based on different religions and their formats, which I thought was really a nice touch to the book and everything. So, I'm taking this very seriously and looking at what I need to. I'm treating it like a business plan. What do you have that you already need? What do you not have that you need? That type of thing.
Right.
So,
well, I discussed this with Luann. I think you have the same way with Martha. I think both of you have the same kind of energy that would be needed. That you have there's a word that I'm looking for, and I'm not finding it. It's like you have the abilities that would match.
Oh, she froze.
Going into dangerous situations and having a very positive outcome.
Well, it's funny because I went into dangerous situations for years physically, dealing with criminals and drug dealers and, bikers that were criminals.
So really, you've had that negative energy experience prior to, from a physical aspect, because that's energy that's still coming at you.
Oh, yeah. And
you can see that. So actually, that was like your prerequisite to be where you are today.
Well, and here's the thing. So I overthink things. I know I do. So Luanna said that she would like to help me with this as it progresses. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to have people with me. I have a responsibility to protect them. So I have to look at my obligations and responsibilities and accountability from that standpoint as well. And so I'm taking it very seriously. Here's the point, though. I'm not going to go actively seek this out. I'm not going to look for this kind of energy. I'm not going to look for these situations. But it's just like when I take my gun out on surveillance, I'm not looking to shoot somebody or have a gunfight. But if somebody is going to come and attack me, I want to be prepared and have the tools that I need. And that's the way I'm approaching this as well. Because I've already been attacked 3 times. And I was not prepared. The irony of it is that what I had to pull off of was my childhood training from my grandmother about spiritual gifts. If I had not had that, God knows what would have happened. So,
Well, you have to be prepared.
Well, Luann and I have had that experience. Go ahead, Luann. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I wasn't going to say anything important.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Luann has had that experience of the negative side, or seeing the negative side, not major, but is aware of. So, yeah, the more knowledge that you have, that's power to me. Knowledge is power. And if you're going to be doing anything along those lines as far as investigating or find yourself in a situation, you want to make sure that you are prepared.
Well, and you have too. And you talked about that last week on your show. And so what I did last night is I sat down and said, I prayed a prayer of protection over the two of you.
Oh, thank you.
So well,
that's why we were up at 12:30.
No, it was not. But it's kind of like guilt by association. You have to take in consideration.
Well, if you're going to be doing anything like that, it's okay. You need to protect yourself, and you need to be aware of what you feel comfortable with. And I am. I know how I need to protect myself.
Right. But you're in my energy. We deal with a lot of paranormal subject matters. I think that opens some doors at times. or can, not intentionally. I think both of you are extraordinarily powerful women, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But that doesn't mean that we can't join our energies together. And that's what I was doing when I did those prayers last night, So, just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, it makes sense to me. Well, when you start talking about demonology, you have to be extremely careful. There's no kind of dipping your toe into it. I mean, there is the situation that we know that once they know that you barely opened up that door, they know who you are, and you do not mess with it.
That's what Dr. Chuck said on your show the other night.
If they don't come after you, they'll come after your family.
They come after your family. You're vulnerable. They come after where you're vulnerable, and I'm vulnerable through my family and friends.
Right.
And so, when Chuck said that on your show the other night, that once they have your name, it's kind of like you're in their shit list. It reminds me of McClintock, or that movie, The Quiet Man. Put their name on the list and draw a line through it. That's what it reminds me of but in seriousness.
Yeah.
And I thought,
put the name on the list, but then draw the line through it as soon as you write it, go ahead. Just mark it off.
So I thought, okay, so that's my belief system. And if I truly believe that, then I have an obligation. So that was me putting my line in the sand, so to speak,
Right.
So anyway, just want to make y'all aware of that. So Luann's showing her shoulder. I'm going to show mine.
Oh.
I'll show my tattoo. There's my tattoo. Exit going this way.
Oh, there we go. I'm so dyslexic. I don't know which way to turn my arms.
Well, you can take a pen and just mark, arrow tops on the three lines that you have.
Oh, look at my tattoo. It looks weird. It looks like a face. When you hold
it does. It looks like a cat.
I know. Black
I like
Panther.
that one. I like the Trachitra.
Oh, behave.
It's my favorite.
I wouldn't mind having a Trachitra, but I have this huge scar from a surgery I had, so I want to cover it up with something.
Cloves. It's called cloves, Luann.
No.
Oh, the herb. Put an herb on it.
Yeah, do thistles. Do the Scottish thistles. Those are pretty.
Thistle.
Put a thistle.
Belladonna.
Yeah. They're pretty plants.
They are.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you, and you.
All right. So someone call April a reminder that she's on the show Monday. We have an opening next Thursday since Audra's going to be on vacation. So if y'all have someone you want to bring on, get that lady. Get that lady.
I'm going to call her. I'm going to have her call me in.
Okay. So
and see if she'll next Thursday.
Yeah, do it quickly so I can do a little ad and we can get her bio up and all that shit. So
okay.
All right.
I will do it.
I actually love y'all a lot, even though Elizabeth's so fucking mean to me. So
she's just
like
trying to keep you on your toes.
I like y'all a lot.
I like y'all a lot.
I do.
Like you a lot. Bye.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend. And
all right, have a good weekend, y'all.
We'll see y'all later.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.
I didn't do the close again. Damn it.